Section 1 of Volume 1F of History of England from the Invasion of Julius Caesar to the Revolution of 1688. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jim Dennison. History of England from the Invasion of Julius Caesar to the Revolution of 1688 by David Hume. Volume 1F, Section 1, Chapter 63, Part 1. Chapter 63, Charles II, 1660. Charles II, when he ascended the throne of his ancestors, was 30 years of age. He possessed a vigorous constitution, a fine shape, a manly figure, a graceful air, and though his features were harsh, yet was his countenance in the main lively and engaging. He was in that period of life when there remains enough of youth to render the person amiable, without preventing that authority and regard which attend the years of experience and maturity. Tenderness was excited by the memory of his recent adversities. His present prosperity was the object rather of admiration than of envy. And as the sudden and surprising revolution which restored him to his regal rights had also restored the nation to peace, law, order, and liberty, no prince ever obtained a crown in more favorable circumstances, or was more blessed with the cordial affection and attachment of his subjects. This popularity the king, by his whole demeanor and behavior, was well qualified to support and to increase. To a lively wit and quick comprehension, he united a just understanding and a general observation both of men and things. The easiest manners, the most unaffected politeness, the most engaging gaiety accompanied his conversation and address. Accustomed during his exile to live among his courtiers rather like a companion than a monarch, he retained even while on the throne that open affability which was capable of reconciling the most determined republicans to his royal dignity, totally devoid of resentment as well as from the natural lenity as carelessness of his temper. He ensured pardon to the most guilty of his enemies, and left hopes of favor to his most violent opponents. From the whole tenor of his actions and discourse, he seemed desirous of losing the memory of past animosities, and of uniting every party in an affection for their prince and their native country. Into his council were admitted the most eminent men of the nation, without regard to former distinctions. The Presbyterians, equally with the Royalists, shared this honor. Annesley was also created Earl of Anglesey, Ashley Cooper Lord Ashley, Denzil Hollis Lord Hollis. The Earl of Manchester was appointed Lord Chamberlain, and Lord Say Privy Seal. Calamy and Baxter, Presbyterian clergymen, were even made chaplains to the king. Admiral Montagu, created Earl of Sandwich, was entitled from his recent services to great favor, and he obtained it. Monk, created Duke of Albemarle, had performed such signal services that, according to a vulgar and malignant observation, he ought rather to have expected hatred and ingratitude. Yet he was ever treated by the king with great marks of distinction. Charles's disposition, free from jealousy, and the prudent behavior of the general, who never overrated his merits, prevented all those disgusts which naturally arise in so delicate a situation. The capacity, too, of Albemarle was not extensive, and his parts were more solid than shining. Though he had distinguished himself in inferior stations, he was imagined, upon familiar acquaintance, not to be wholly equal to those great achievements which fortune, united to prudence, had enabled him to perform, and he appeared unfit for the court, a scene of life to which he had never been accustomed. Morris, his friend, was created Secretary of State, and was supported more by his patron's credit than by his own abilities or experience. But the choice which the king at first made of his principal ministers and favorites was the circumstance which chiefly gave contentment to the nation, and prognosticated future happiness and tranquillity. Sir Edward Hyde, created Earl of Clarendon, was chancellor and prime minister. The Marquis, created Duke of Ormond, was steward of the house. The Earl of Southampton, high treasurer. Sir Edward Nicholas, secretary of state. These men, united together in friendship and combining in the same laudable inclinations, supported each other's credit, and pursued the interest of the public. Agreeable to the present prosperity of public affairs was the universal joy and festivity diffused throughout the nation. The melancholy austerity of the fanatics fell into discredit together with their principles. The royalists, who had ever affected a contrary disposition, found in their recent
Sample complete. Ready to continue?